Just the last hour, Salina City Commissioners approved issuing industrial revenue bonds, or IRBs, to push forward a housing project. The project is not for income qualifying units. Instead, it's being built to attract workers to the city. KSN's Zina Taher explains the city says there is a growing need for these types of units in the Salina market.
I'm standing in front of an apartment complex being built off Magnolia and the 135. This project is part of the Salina Destination Housing Project. It's meant to attract workers to help industries in Salina grow and recruit. The mayor and city manager tell me some major employers here approached the city concerned because recruitment was stalling. It's hard to get potential employees to move with a lack of rentals aimed at their income bracket. The construction you see now, it's part of phase 1 of the project already underway. Phase 2 is an apartment complex with housing being built vertically.
Phase 2 I've heard referred to as horizontal apartments. So the footprint, the size would be similar to an apartment, but they're not necessarily in apartment buildings. There's a little bit of separation. There may be units 1, 2, and 3.
The reason phase 2 is being built differently is to add more options for people moving to the area or in the rental market. Both phases 1 and 2 consist of about 250 units each. This housing project is meant to solve what the city points out as a major problem here in Salina. They say employers have a hard time recruiting because of the lack of housing options here. The IRBs today are going to help significantly lower costs for this project, which has already received millions in state funding. The sounds of construction, something Salina's government wants to hear.
The word that we are trying to get out to our community is our success in kind of reaching that housing goal.
After multiple housing assessments, City of Salina found it had a lack of options for renters.
It's been several years since apartment-style housing has been constructed here in Salina, and we have many industries that are building and expanding and needing to recruit employees, but they find that the housing options are very limited.
Mayor Bill Longvine says newcomers to the city often want to rent as opposed to buy. With recruitment stalling, major employers in the city are concerned.
The inventory is very limited. It has been for some time. It's like a car salesman with 2 cars on the lot sometimes.
Hopefully generate some interest and appeal.
City manager Mike Scraggs says while other developments are focused on affordable housing, this one is focused on more middle income people. This build is being funded mostly by the developer with some help from the state for foundational work. Now that the IRBs are approved, financial advisors with the city, they're going to work with the developers to get some paperwork filed, sent up to the state to get that sales tax exemption approved. And as for phase 2, construction on that should start in March and wrap up by late 2026. But move-ins for phase 1, which is what you're seeing right here, that should start early 2026. They're going to have phased move-ins for this build. Here for you, Zina Taher, KSN News 3.